these was my predictions from last year. I added a little more. It really was the songs at the bottom. These are my predictions from last year that I brought over into this year that I said for Act 3. I will have to find them tweets for when I brought it up or post or wherever they are. Wherever they are, I'm gonna have to find them. But this was from January 3rd, 2026. And I just basically said my predictions for Act 3 is a mixed genre album. We know she does that with the main genre being the genre she is basically reclaiming. Mixed homage towards different artists. We know she showed love to artists that came before her. Red, black, and white themed. We know she did that with the race car, at the Grand Prix. Bronze or copper metal horse. That's my theory personally, that the next horse will be like a metal horse versus just a regular horse. Since she already did the real horse and the disco horse, I feel like it's gonna be metal. But that's just my opinion. And I'm gonna go over why that's my opinion. Why have I already went over that in a different video in a few videos probably. But I'm gonna go show y'all where if you haven't seen those videos, I'm gonna show you over again. Okay, I said that it'll be fire based. We already know that she has brung fire out within the Cowboy Carter era. So now we get into songs. Songs that I think will be included in the era. Superpower. I'm about to go over that. I'm gonna go over that. So keep watching and it's gonna be like towards the end because it's a lot to go over. So after I get done with all of this, I'm gonna break down Superpower. Now we know I broke down 6 inch already. That's the first video on this channel. If you want to go watch that, I break down how I feel like the mascara plays a role. We all know that's the rock aesthetic. Black hair, I really can't wait. Like everybody's going crazy about the bob, but I cannot wait. And I hope she does black hair. Probably mix some red in there. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be black to match the aesthetic of rock and roll with the black mascara. The red theme within that music video, I broke down everything else within that music video, the light bulbs, everything. That's like a quick 1 minute video. I think it's probably 1 minute or something. So it's not even that long to go through and see because I do it really quick. Okay, then I said haunted. I broke down on the other channel how it's a lot of similarities and clues in haunted that goes along with Cowboy Carter. So where I found clues within Cowboy Carter, but not only Cowboy Carter, I found clues within Act 3 as well, like the font, her favorite number, the hat saying most wanted, everything like that. And then we have Don't Hurt Yourself. Don't Hurt Yourself is self-explanatory. And we know from the fire, the theme, the aggression, everything like that is so rock coded. Her wearing black and white, rock coded, everything like that. So we know that that's probably most likely going to go. We know rock is loud as well. And then they say I have more, but this was just a few. And I uploaded this on January 3rd, 2026 at 12:38 p.m. These was just my last theories that I would like to put in. Not saying that they are going to be true. These are just my theories. Not saying that they are correct or they are wrong. But now going back to bronze or copper metal horse, where I got that from. And I just want to quickly add this. This was when I recorded this the first time I had said this, but obviously didn't pick it up. But like we know that May 29th, 2026. So that would be 6 29 26. I mean, no, not 6, 5. My bad, because that's May. 5 29 2026. And when I looked up this chart, because I remember this chart from when I was in school. Well, I wasn't looking up this chart. I was really looking up pictures of copper to really show. And I already went over this as well when I showed how the pennies go from like this color to like until it start getting like greenish. If y'all know what I'm talking about, when as they get older, they rust. I guess that's what you would call it. But when you look up the chart of copper, it's 29, and then we speculate that the album for Act 3 would drop on May 29th, 2026. So that was one. Then I go over here. This is when I said that I feel like it will be like a metal horse from looking at this metal horse and looking at this metal horse that she had. And then not to mention the real horse that she used for Cowboy Carter, I must say Renaissance. And then a disco horse. Like to me, I feel like it's gonna be different. She did a disco horse, which is a fake horse right here. She did the real horse, which is the real horse right here. And then I put this together thinking that the horse is gonna be red, but I think it's gonna be like a copper bronze color, because if you look at what I put, it say that copper is a distinctive reddish brown warm metallic color, often described as a medium dark orange brown. So that's why I said I feel like this don't apply. I just put this together though before I even thought about this. So when you look at this one, you see that that's like metal. And I feel like this was like a clue. I went over that already, so let's keep going. Now to get to the stuff that I'm really here to talk about, it was Bad Bunny's Grammy speech. The first one. Because it was one where he won an award and then it was another one where he won Album of the Year. But for this one, Call for Love, he said that he empathized that the only thing that is more powerful than hate is love, encouraging people to respond to conflict with compassion rather than hate. Okay, we see that now. Y'all, I'm not on a desktop today, so it's kind of different. Now, going back to this tweet that I made the day of the Super Bowl, I said Beyonce X Bad Bunny, the best way to get a message across. Now, when I seen this, y'all know I had came up with the theory that she would do something at the Super Bowl, which didn't happen, but we did get some pictures from the Super Bowl that has stuff that I'm going to go through and show y'all that I feel like is a part of what she's doing. But when I seen this, it automatically made me think of this. It automatically made me think of Beyonce. And I'm not saying that Bad Bunny is copying Beyonce or anything, but I'm just saying that it made me think of her putting messages out. We know Beyonce been doing this for years as far as putting messages on the screen to make sure you see them, but this just made me think of that. On top of Beyonce pushing love so much, she been doing it for a long time, and y'all are going to see when I go over Superpower, she been pushing love so much that it just shows me that the revolution is all together. Like the revolution is not just her alone, not just Kendrick alone. I feel like they all working together. And I'm gonna go into why. First we have her on the telephone. We know she been pushing this telephone, showing this telephone. I showed y'all within the interlude how much she showed the telephone. If you go look at the 6-inch video, few telephones are in there, which is why I also feel like she's gonna push this or superpower and perform Superpower within Act Three's tour. And all them other songs I named too as well. But Superpower is the main one that I'm focused on now since I broke down how Haunted gonna play a role. I broke down how 6-inch gonna play a role, and Don't Hurt Yourself is self-explanatory. And I just feel like I just need to break down Superpower. And I was been supposed to do this breakdown for Superpower, but Bad Bunny saying that made me want to do it even more now. But going back to the telephone, I broke down how I feel like telephone is coming. I wouldn't be surprised if telephone be a single that we get just because. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't know how many singles we are gonna get because we know we got My House, that was one. Then we but My House was a bridge too as well. My House was like a bridge from Renaissance would have been going into Act 3, and I already went over that. But yeah, then we got the two singles, 16 Carriages and Texas Hold'em for Act 2. But this telephone is just what plays a role. We know she had a football right here. This is the picture that I want to talk about. So breaking this down, you gotta stick with me. If y'all seen my Kendrick and Beyonce video, you will understand where I'm coming from when it comes to this. But I first want to say that I already said that I feel like Renaissance was her feminine era, Cowboy Carter was her more of a masculine era, and Act 3 will be combination of both. I'm gonna say this. In the Kendrick and Beyonce video, I broke down how I feel like her switching the acts around, for Act 1 being Act 2 being Act 1, played a major role. And I always bring this up because I always say that it's important to add that so you won't get confused. It played a major role because I felt like the revolutionary era. I can't remember if it was supposed to be Kendrick during the Renaissance era to go into Act 2. I forgot. But the whole point of it is I broke down how Kendrick and Beyonce is on the same page to me because of the American flag theme, the revolutionary theme, everything, taking truth back. Taking what's real back, showing what's real, revealing what's real, revealing what's going on within their art. But going back to what I said, as far as I feel like these acts are a part of feminine, masculine, both things like that. Beyonce and Kendrick, what they did around the same time, it showed the revolution from both perspectives, the male perspective of Kendrick and the female perspective of Beyonce, which is why all of that was supposed to happen around the same time, in my opinion, which is why all of that goes together. That's just my opinion. But yeah, going back to that, I feel like both perspectives was the revolution from different perspectives, the female perspective and the male perspective, by both of them doing it with their art. This is why I feel like they are doing something. They did something, but I still don't feel like it's over because he said the revolution will be televised and she said the revolution will not be televised. Now, with that being said, I said that because now I feel like Bad Bunny has been included in this. And this is a separate revolution since he's from a separate culture. The ones that we got from Kendrick and Beyonce was American culture, the revolution for American culture. His is the revolution for immigrants, the revolution, pushing love for immigrants, pushing love for Puerto Rico, pushing love, for his culture. And if you look at this, what theme did we, I mean, not theme, theme is crazy. What era did we just come out of? The revolution for America with Kendrick and Beyonce. That's what we just came out of. The American flag is first, and the Puerto Rico flag is second, or a Puerto Rican flag, Puerto Rico or Puerto Rico. I think it's Puerto Rico. The Puerto Rico flag is second. And this just shows like the transition from one revolution to another, pushing love, right? Okay. And that's why I said I would have never thought of this until Bad Bunny said that. Bad Bunny said that. Look, again, she intentionally put the flags down to take pictures of it, along with her smell good and the cigar she was smoking as well. But she intentionally put the American flag down and basically standing with him on his message and the revolution for everybody. Push your love for everybody. No discrimination against nobody. Everybody need a revolution. Who needs a revolution? You know what I'm saying? We need a revolution. We stand together. They stand with us. We stand with them. All cultures come together. We're better together. Better with love than hate, like he said. And telephone again. Telephone 2 times. Like, this not the only time. I was looking on Twitter and someone had posted her doing the telephone during the Kamala era, and I already went over her speech and how her speech played a role within Act Two, Cowboy Carter. Because if you go listen to her speech at the Kamala rally in Houston, she said the reclamation or something like that. I think she said reclamation in her speech. And I said, hold on, because her campaign with the Levi brand was also reclamation. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that was intentional. And y'all know that they pre-do speeches. And I also showed when she was, behind the stage or in the back going over and looking over her speech. And y'all know they had the teleprompters where they read them. Y'all get what I'm saying. But yeah, so let's keep going. So I won't add nothing extra. I posted this on now this don't really I feel like matter, but I posted this to the Peep Show interlude sound on TikTok. I just want to add that. But this also made me straight think about her banging when she was banging and she was like, let me out. I'm the real Beyonce, let me out. But yeah, she like, I'm the real Beyonce, let me out. And I was thinking, in my opinion, with it being a fish, what do they call it? Fish scale? 'Cause she was asking for one of them as well, in the film. But I was thinking like it wasn't no peephole or anything to me. To me, it seemed like she was banging on a camera, like a camera was watching her as she was watching everything else on the TVs and she turned the TVs off. But she was also being watched within that room, being stuck in that room. Like I said, this is just my theory. Being stuck in that room watching everything else play out, including herself. But herself as in one of the screens, it had her face on there, but it was with her with the contacts. And I already talked about and broke down how I feel like with her wearing the contacts was a representation of a vampire because it also made me go back to looking at that it also made me go back and go over I think within that Kendrick video in that same video I went over how I feel like Sinners is also a part of what they are doing because of the eye color changing or the context that she had in her eyes. That's not the real Beyonce. The ones that doesn't have the eye contacts is the real Beyonce, and she shows different sides of herself. If y'all look at all the pictures, some have context or less of the pictures don't. So I already went over all of that too as well. And then this is like something she put out of a fortune cookie. I think this say American 250. I can't really tell, but I think that's what it say. All of these pictures I'm not going to say has a meaning to them because it's really not that crazy. You get what I'm saying? But I mean, I don't think it's that deep to be analyzing every picture, but I'm just going over the pictures that I feel like matters. So let's go over this one. Remember this. Remember I said this. Like I said, this is Beyonce standing with him. But also, the revolution for both is similar. Similar to me. The revolution for both. And we know Beyonce been doing these screens for years where she's pushing messages on her. And I also said I want to go back and look at all of the screens and, go over all of the screens that she had with messages on there as well, just to like put them all together and see, just for fun. But that's crazy, yeah, because that's a song on Cowboy Carter. But yeah, just to be doing something just because. But her posting this also shows that she's in support for her posting it. And also her just putting that up, love, around the time of Valentine's Day, around the time of her dropping all of that merch, everything. I feel like she's coming. She is coming. She been active. So let's keep going. No, well, also I didn't get to add because I was looking for this, and it's crazy how when I was looking for this, it ended up coming right in my lap. Oh yeah, I also talked about this. I said everybody's been saying that this could stand for Black Betty, but I also feel like this was like a clue going towards Bad Bunny doing a Super Bowl. This is when I thought that the Levi Stadium and all of that matter because of her coming out of the Levi campaign, everything like that. But yeah, why don't you love me? Telephone, Renaissance, telephone. Her having a telephone and Kamala, I mean, during the Kamala photos, I mean, the photo shoot where she was at the hotel, I think, before the Kamala rally, and her also having a telephone in the recent pictures that she just dropped. She is slowly doing it, not to mention, if you go to 6 inch video, you will also see her put in the telephone all throughout the 6 inch video, music video, and I said that I feel like that plays a role within going into Act 3 as well. Like, that will be a song she's going to perform. Like I said, that's just my opinion.
Feel.